Okay, y'all, this is the Lubbock Police Department. I am now on YouTube Live, and this is them, and my son's house was shot up. I gave the police officers the description of the car and a nickname of the person who possibly it could have been. And they were like, no, we need to get in this house. We need to get in this house. They wanted to get in this house so badly. They kept saying, we need to get in this house. We need to get in this house. And I said, no, my sons are not here, so I'm not going to give y'all permission. The officer who gave me his badge number earlier, P503, he went and turned the knob and opened up the door. And he was like, we need to walk through this house to make sure nobody's in here. I did tell them several times that nobody was in the house. And then so I told them, I said, it was a gray slug bug, I say, because they were parked in front of my house. The officer then said, all right, well, we need to get somebody out here to take pictures. And I said, no, I'm not giving you permission to do that because my sons don't want to give you permission. I said, so I locked the front door and I left. Well, one of the officers said the back door was unlocked, which I don't think it was, but they got in the house anyways, regardless. And when I got here, this is what they were doing. I was standing in the yard and I asked them, can I go back in there and lock the door? Because nobody gave y'all permission. They told me, no, nobody could go lock the door. And then I was like, so why are y'all in here? And he said, because it's a crime scene. And so I kept saying, well, nobody's in there. Nobody got hurt. He said, well, you don't know that. And then he started saying, oh, well, ma'am, after about 5 minutes of talking to him, we found crack in there. That was the officer's statement, that they found crack in the house. But they did not say that until after I asked them several times not to go in the house. And they were like, we're not going nowhere until we take pictures. And then they started saying, I don't care what you say. The neighbors called us and told us this house got shot up. Which I asked him what neighbors, and he was like, ask me legitimate questions. So I don't know what kind of legitimate question, because I'm not a lawyer. But I do know that the officers are all through the house. And like I said, after I told them I didn't want them in there and I was going to shut the door, they started coming at me with they found crack in the house. This is the true story. Kid you not, we're live. I asked, it was two officers. I asked them for their badge numbers. One officer gave me his badge number. The other one refused to. And then they called for backup and 2 more vehicles pulled up. And like I said, as you can see, that's my car with the lights on running. But this is the officer. This is the officer. That's the officer, and that's the officer up there. And of course, I was standing in the street because I was trying to record. But they told me that they were going to arrest me if I did not get out the street. And I said, well, officers, you're standing in the street. And they said, because this is a public street that the city paid for. So I guess I'm not human, or I'm not part of the public, or I don't know what it is. But I was told, get away from my car, move down here, or I would be arrested or detained. So, again, this is Lubbock Police Department, who entered a house without permission, who's taking pictures, and there's no victims apparently, and the officer gonna tell me, well, you don't know that. Me and my kids, I called them. None of them was in the house, so I knew for a fact that none of my kids was in the house. But like they said, I don't know that. So they entered the house anyways. So one of the officers did inform me, oh, well, you can record because we're recording too. Ha, ha, and ha.